Good morning, good afternoon. Just a quick synopsis of what you're doing today on Tuesday, February 6th. I'm gonna hide my big head so I can better explain this. Okay, first of all, I've explained this. I've alluded to and talked about this several times, but this is the essay, and I kicked the deadline twice, and now we're upon it. So the British factory mines working conditions, all of the documents all of the documents, these documents which are down I know that the assignment is tucked in January 26th, a couple weeks down, but you can find it because we've kind of stretched this out. Remember, you're using three pieces of evidence to support from these documents, and when you're doing that, you're not. I wouldn't worry about the document C so much. Just say, according to Burley, according to um, according to Dr. Holm, according to Dr. Ward, whoever it might be, to make the claim. Would you think the British textile factories and mines are bad for the health of working class families? You could also take a position that it's both, right? You could also take a position that while many thought it was bad, some thought that it was the situation might have been exaggerated or made out to be worse than it was. Or you could take just the claim that it was bad, the factories and mines, and use one of the pieces to refute it, which would obviously be Dr. Holm or the Edward Baines, the newspaper journalist that was opposed to legislation that would improve factory conditions. And as we know from having done a little bit with the factory reforms, those factory reforms were slow, steady, but not effective at first. And we will come back to that on Wednesday a little bit when we looked at that when we'll wrap that up. So that's first. That's due tonight. Second, and I will extend this into Friday after the test, or Thursday after the test, which is the screen. Oh, excuse me, not this. The rise and fall of Karl Marx. So when you click into this assignment, you're going to log in with Google. Make sure that you log in with Google when you click into this assignment, so that you can when you make sure that you've logged in with Google. I've already done it, so that you can see this assignment in this way. The Q4. Remember that these questions that you have here that you click on. These are the guiding questions, and these are practice. These assessment questions, Part A, Part B. Which of the following quotations best supports the end Part A? Remember, Part A and Part B are connected to each other. So the meaning of surplus in paragraph 24. So paragraph 24, you got to count. Looking at surplus, he sought to provide his intellectuals unpublished draft, included the history of the world, and developed concept of surplus value. So extra value. What does surplus mean in terms of the context of paragraph 24? Looking at around is talking about 800 handwritten pages, the history of the world economic developed Marx's central concept of political economy. Excess value produced by the labor of workers over the wages they are paid. Surplus value, excess value by the labor, so they get more than the wages they are paid. That's surplus value. So I literally gave that one away. So this are the words around it, and that's how you look at vocabulary in context. Look at the words around to figure that out, and then you've got some main idea questions, and so all of them are connected to each other. So you can go to Part A and Part B, and if it doesn't support it, you can change your response. If you don't finish that today, you'll have a little bit of time after the test on Friday, but then on Friday you'll have you'll have time as well. But the main thing is to look at and finish the working conditions analysis essay. And also, we did this in class, but if you were not here for that piece because you were one of the absent people, don't forget the historical check and reflection analysis on what you might have missed. So the historical check is based on the documents, and you're answering these questions based on the documents. That's part of the assignment, and then completing the analysis to see what you got on it, and how you did, and then why you think you got them wrong. That you should do first. If you did not do that, if you happen to be not here the day that we did that last week. Okay, the other thing, and I don't know how much time I'm going to have on Wednesday because we're taking this test Thursday, is to look at the Industrial Revolution test room. This is pretty developed. On Monday, I went through the infographics on Viewboard, but this will give you a look at the question on the short answer question on Marx and socialism and capitalism. So, what factors gave right to socialism? The key beliefs of socialism, contrast how it is different from laissez-faire capitalism, and then what did Karl Marx mean in this quotation? In higher phase of communist society, only then can the narrow horizons of the bourgeoisie be fully left behind. The bourgeoisie, remember, the bourgeoisie is the upper class. Can they be left behind? And society describing its banners from each according to his ability, for each according to his needs. In other words, people are providing their labor and are being paid according to their value. I would strongly suggest that you look at the short answer questions so that you can see, so that you can get an idea for them in advance. Because I'm not gonna have a whole heck of a lot of time to talk about them um, on Friday, on Wednesday when we review. So if you want to get started in advance and look at that, that would be an advisable idea. And of course, there's a practice quizzes and the and vocabulary. And then if I will open up the quiz to look at full feedback as well. I will open up the quiz to look at full feedback. So prioritizing, you've got working conditions analysis essay due tonight. Common Lit. If you're done with that, reviewing the short answer question, and then the ed puzzles. We finished the ed puzzles. If you haven't done the ed puzzles because you were absent, you'll need to like make those up at your time before the test. Okay, I will see you all on Wednesday. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Sorry, I'm not looking at the cameras as I should. It's a little lower this time.